Hi guys, welcome back to Always Sometimes Monsters! We're playing as Glory. I did a little bit of looking around, just a couple of things off screen while I was eating my dinner. And I found a dirty mackerel, on the ground. Just on the ground somewhere. I found a dirty mackerel. Where'd it go? Nope, not that. There. Also found out that you can rummage garbage bins for food, which is exceptionally sad. But you can also find other things, like I think I found a figure, a hero figure, or whatever it is called. I found a hero figure in this box here, and that was pretty much about it. Yeah, that was it. Hey girl, what's new? I just spent all day at the Phoenix setting up for Dark F's show tonight. I may head back to the Phoenix in a bit and work the coat check. I was also considering seeing if old Mrs. Tewilager still needs my help. Yeah, let's do that. We're not doing so great on money. What I was thinking is, when they were talking about the sandwich investments, or sandwich futures or whatever, they said if somebody mugs you. So I'm kind of scared to keep money on me. So I'm gonna actually put money away. Not carry like very much at all around with me, just in case. 1119's still my pin. I should change that sometime. Don't need to think about his birthday every time I check my bank balance. Aww. You know what though? It's totally not necessary to share, but I did that. I had my ex's and I's anniversary year. Not I wasn't married, but we were together for a really long time. So the year that we started dating was my pin, and and then after we weren't together anymore, it was just depressing as fuck. Don't do that, guys. My bank card. 1119. Welcome, Glory. Checking balance. Your current balance is $13. Wow, that's even worse than mine is right now. Let's deposit. I have 85. I only want to keep 30 on me. So, let's math. 50? 55? Let's math. Yes! Ah, I can math. Alright, now we're safe, right? Now we're safe, and, unless somebody breaks into the... Well, you know what? Unless somebody breaks into the ATM machine. Yeah, that's how ATM machines work. Ah, this bastard's here. Open the box? Sure, open it. What's in it? Yes, look inside the box. There's nothing in here. What was the point of that? Okay. It's got to arrive soon, right? This isn't even my mailbox. Let's not go in there. I'm just checking everywhere for, like, items. Turn on the light? No. Let's leave it off. Mr. Twilliger. Actually, are we hungry? Nah, we're not really. Well, I'm gonna have one of those Hot Pockets, or whatever. Stupid landlord. Think he can just evict me, huh? Well, I still have my key. Nothing like outsmarting a smartass. Open sesame. What the? My key's not working. That son of a bitch changed the lock. Aww. Sorry about that, had to plug my headset in. Ah, that sucks. My key's useless now. That old man must have just been here to change the lock. I guess that explains the empty box in the bucket labeled Randy's Quick Electro Lock Change Kit. Dang it! Well, that sucks. I don't know, let's see if we can break into anybody else's. Yeah! Might as well take a look. It's a little kid. Achoo, achoo, achoo. What? Is that kid smoking something? What the fuck? It looks like a kid with a broken leg. And he's lighting up something. I'm really not sure what's going on through there, but I don't think I want to know. Should have expected that. Should have expected that in at least one of them. Good lord. Well, I totally asked for that. Wonder if Mrs. Tewilager still needs my help cleaning her apartment. Hope I'm not too late to lend a hand. Then again, Dark F did mention I could work coat check tonight and I could use the money. Well, we're already here, so let's just do this. Who could that be? Hello? Who's there? It's me, Glory. Oh, come right in. Question mark. Hey, Mrs. Twilliger, I'm here to help clean up. Oh, you're a little late for that, Glory. It's alright though, I managed to get it all done myself. Aww. Still, I'm very glad you came, you're such a good kid. Well then, I guess you don't need me? I was just about to sit down to dinner. Would you care to join me? I was thinking about going down to the club to work coat check. I am pretty hungry though. She has a kitty! Well, we are kind of hungry, so let's just stay. So, what's for dinner? It's a fresh lamb stew. You're going to love it. Come and have a seat. We wouldn't want it getting cold. Sounds great. You won't believe how hungry I am. Well, there's plenty to eat, so don't you worry about it if you want seconds. I'm glad I didn't use any of my foods then, actually. Except giving away a perfectly good sandwich. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say you were expecting guests earlier? Don't tell me I'm the only one who came. Aw, that'd be so sad. Oh, I never explained, did I? Tonight's my beloved Thomas's birthday. Every year we have a special little dinner together. I tidy up the house like he prefers, and make his favorite meal, an old-fashioned stew. Aw, that sounds really nice. When's he coming? Oh, well, he's not exactly. Thomas was my husband, but he's not with us anymore. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about, Glory. We had a wonderful life together, and he's still with me every day in my heart. I'm glad you're here, though. Sometimes today can make me a little emotional. It'll be nice having someone else to talk to for a change. Ah, that's really cool. I like that. Salad? Hush, it's good for your digestion. You'll get your stew afterwards. Aww. Appetizer. I'm so glad you decided to join me. It's nice to have young company for a change. Oh, it's no trouble at all. I was starving? It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, really. I appreciate your kindness, Glory. It can be kind of lonely living alone these days. Well, considering I'm eating out of a microwave most nights, this is a real treat. Didn't you cook for that boyfriend of yours very often? What was his name? Gabriel, wasn't it? Oh, we'd eat out more often than not. We were both pretty busy, you know. Ah, I understand. Life can get pretty hectic nowadays. Life sure does move a lot faster than when I was your age. How long has it been since you last saw each other? I always remember he was so polite. We'd bump into each other nearly every morning as he was heading out the door for his morning jog. It's funny the things you miss about a person can often be what you take for granted. The cruel part's that you never know you're doing it at the time, but such is life, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. She seems very grandmotherly. I miss him a lot. I really do miss him quite a lot. It's been about a year since we last saw each other. I still don't feel the same. Believe me, I understand how you feel. When you're so close with someone, their absence can be hard to deal with. I won't lie to you, that sadness you feel now may never go away. You're luckier than I was, though. You still have an opportunity to mend the rift. Oh, I don't know about that. Life's changed a great deal for both of us since we parted ways. Gabriel's not even in the city anymore, I don't think. Seems he wanted to get as far away from me as possible. A decision like that can be made in an instant, though. Who's to say what it really means? For all you know, Gabriel could be regretting leaving just as much as you do. I'm not so sure that's true. It ended rather rough. Aww. Things between us ended rather roughly. There's a reason we don't talk. A lot of feelings were hurt, probably past repair. Be that as it may, you're not a mind reader, Glory. A good relationship like the one you had doesn't die so easily. Actions can be amended, and feelings can be healed. The only thing that truly divides people is time apart. You can't be so sure you know what's going on in someone else's heart unless you ask them yourself. I suppose you're right about the time apart dividing us. I'm not even sure if he's the same person anymore, to be honest. When I look at how much I've changed in the last year, I can't imagine Gabriel stayed the same. Oh, you've changed less than you think, Glory. Call me a nosy neighbor, but I've watched you come and go in this building for a long time now. Tell me what you think is so different about today versus a year ago. You want to know how I've changed since Gabriel left? My work, my lifestyle, I haven't changed. I'm going to say her lifestyle, because if you're in a really serious relationship with somebody, you really do organize your lifestyle around them. And especially if it's you know, a bad separation, your lifestyle's going to change. That's what I think. I guess the thing that's changed most is my lifestyle. I've really turned myself around over this last year, started taking better care of myself. Oh, so you've started getting to bed at a decent hour then? Is ordering delivery 3 times a week a new diet regime? Well, not exactly on either account. I mean, I'm trying, which is what counts, right? Ah, so no real changes yet. Not so different after all, then. No, I guess not. Being the same person you were a year ago doesn't have to be a bad thing unless you think it is. Don't forget, that's who Gabriel fell in love with in the first place. Yeah, but it's also who he left. Oh, that's so sad! That is just so sad. So, how are you enjoying the stew? This lady is the sweetest. It's really quite good. What's the meat in this? Didn't she say it was lamb? That's fresh lamb. I got it from the butcher this morning. Feel free to have as much as you want. I got used to making rather large pots of it. Every time I'd make it, my Thomas would eat at least 4 bowls just by himself. There were never any leftovers back in those days, I'm afraid. He sounds like quite the character. How'd you meet? Yeah, let's just chat her up. She wants the company, you know? Do you mind me asking how you and Thomas met? It's a funny story, actually. It happened the summer after I finished high school. He was working at a garage near my house, and my father hired him to fix up our old jalopy. Ah, that's so charming! I wasn't working at the time, so when my father asked me to pick up the car for him, I had no choice. I didn't even have a license at the time, so I was terrified the whole day imagining myself getting it home. Well, that certainly sounds safe. How'd you get away with driving illegally like that? It It was a different time back then. We didn't worry about little things like that. I was scared, but that wasn't going to stop me. I hated disappointing my father. So I showed up to the shop, scared out of my wits, and there he was, covered in grease and sweat, a real man's man, if you know what I mean. Thomas could tell immediately I was clueless and must have asked me if I needed help a dozen times. I was stumbling over myself with how cute he was, so I just kept telling him I'd be fine. I wanted to get home as quickly as possible before I said or did something embarrassing. I was so distracted thinking about him that I crashed straight into a stop sign barely 20 feet away. Oh, look at the car. The car is so old. Thomas, the sweetheart, charged right over to see if I was okay. There wasn't a scratch on me, but the car was in pretty rough shape. I was terrified I'd get in trouble with my father. He'd have been so mad to find out what happened. Thomas, sensing my dismay, offered to fix it for free and tell my father he needed more time with it to keep me from trouble. His only condition was that I'd agree to go have dinner with him that weekend. Aww, he's so cute! Of course I said yes, and the rest is history. Yay! Love's funny like that, isn't it? Was it the accident that drew us together, or was it our attraction that caused the accident? Sometimes I think these things are just meant to happen, you know? It sounds like the two of you were made for each other. What was your life like? What was your life with Thomas like? Well, it wasn't perfect, but they were by far the best years of my life. I'd trade all the ones I've got left for just one more lazy summer afternoon with him. Aww! When we were young, everything was new to us. All we needed was our love. Didn't matter that we were poor or hungry. As long as we had each other, we were happier than pigs in mud. What a phrase! We had such grand dreams for our life. We planned to travel the world together, see exotic places as a pair. Aww, then they got into debt, I bet. Eventually, though, the bills started piling up, and so Thomas started working longer hours to make ends meet. There were times when we'd have debt collectors knocking our door, and I wasn't sure we'd make it. I thought myself foolish for being so idealistic in our youth. Reality hit us a lot harder than we expected. I resented him working so much, even though I knew it was necessary for us to survive. He would be frustrated with every mistake I made, fearing how far it'd set us back. The stress of it all would cause us to fight over the most ridiculous things as we scraped by. Oh. That is like, it's a classic story, you know? That's just a story that's happened in real life so many times to so many people. Still, our love was strong enough that our tension always faded once we vented. We'd always make up and vow to double down on our efforts to make our dreams come true. We slogged away, hoping that we'd have a few extra pennies to put away at the end of the month, but we never got far. As we got older, things got easier, but we were too tired and beat to do anything about it. So you just gave up on your dream like that? We were comfortable and happy together. Eventually we realized that's all we really wanted. It didn't matter where we were or what we were doing, just so long as we were together. Besides, it's more than a little impractical just packing up your life to chase a silly ideal like that. Sometimes I regret it though, especially when I wonder where we might have been when they started enlisting. When I think about it, it's hard not getting angry at myself for not trying harder. But then, how were we to know? I'm confused about the whole enlisting part. I'm sorry, it's a very painful subject for me. So, Thomas was drafted in the war? How did he die? Apologies if it's a touchy subject. That's my phone! Ignore it. Throw it across the room. Go, cats! It's further away. Apologies if it's a touchy subject, but how did Thomas die? I don't really like talking about it, but it's a fair question, all things considered. It just makes me very sad to talk about. I'd really rather not. I can only imagine how painful those memories are. Never mind, or talking helps. Talking helps. We've confided in her, and I think she really doesn't have anybody else to talk to, so this is a good opportunity for her. I know it might be hard, but talking about this stuff helps sometimes. Well, I suppose since you talked about your problems, it's fair I talk about mine. Sorry, another sneezing fit. I guess things started looking up for us the year before we were even concerned with the war. We saw the news broadcasts and heard stories from friends about the troubles, but we never thought we'd be involved at all. It was all happening half a world away. We weren't in danger, so we never paid it any mind. The world affair was someone else's problem, and then the letter came. Aww. I did my best to let go of the fear of losing him. Crap! Assured myself something. In his letters home, he always joked that it was more likely he'd die from boredom than from bullets. I can still remember the faint smell of gasoline that soaked its way into the paper, his awful spelling. Almost every day there'd be a new one for me to read. He must have spent as much time holding a pen as he did a wrench. Like a lot of the wives in town, I blamed the post office at first when the mail stopped showing up. Then days turned into weeks, and we all knew something terrible had happened. By the time the news officially reached our neighborhood of the bombing, we were already grieving. Aww, he died so young. That's awful. I was told he died a hero, that he died serving a valiant cause, but I know how he really felt. You may think of soldiers as brave and patriotic souls, but he wasn't a soldier. He was just a mechanic. He was just a mechanic who wanted nothing more than to travel the world with the woman he loved. I never fell in love again after losing him. I don't think I could have, even if I wanted to. When you lose someone that really means something to you, it chips away that part of your heart forever. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything, Glory. What you do need is to understand. Life doesn't connect us with the perfect person more than once in a life. I know this. Once you know who they are, don't waste your time with them fretting over petty things. If you truly love them, do anything and everything to keep them by your side or be prepared to lose them forever. There are no do-overs in this life. Once they're gone for good. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Aww. My voice is kind of getting tired. I just love ice cream, don't you? You don't hear me complaining. I've had a really nice time this evening. I'm very happy you decided to come by. Oh, it's no trouble at all. I'm glad I came too. So am I. Still, I want to thank you for your time with me tonight, so I have something for you. What's this? These were my husband's baseball cards. He used to collect them when he was a boy. Some of them are quite old. They're probably worth quite a bit of money. I want you to have one of them as a token of my appreciation. You can keep it as a memento, or I'm sure someone will be happy to pay you for it. You can't be serious, can you? Please. I know how much you could use the money right now, and they're not doing me any good. They just sit in the box. I can't even bring myself to look at them anymore. I won't take no as an answer from you, so don't even make a fuss about it. I just don't trust myself not to get all weepy if I see which one you're taking, so I want you to pick by the time I return from the washroom. Just close up the box when you're done, and we won't say another word about it. Understand? Yeah, I understand. Alright then, I'll be back in a moment. I bet they'd be worth a small fortune to the right collector. I couldn't do that to Mrs. Tewilager, though, could I? Well, she did want us to have one, and we do need the money. We could take no cards. And she's never gonna look at them again. We actually have the option to take 2 or 3. Yeah, I see what they're playing at here. She said that she's never gonna look at them again, so she won't know if you take all 3. Although I'm tempted to get by, that's just not... She told us to take 1, so I'm gonna take 1. You took a baseball card. Oh, there's a message. Well, she did invite me to take 1. Love. I can't read it. Oh, so if we had taken all 3, then we would have seen the message. What does it say? Is it a secret message? I guess she'll never see it. Oh, that's sad. It'd be rude not to, I suppose. Huh. I hope I made the right decision. I think you did. At least you didn't make the wrong one. Thanks again for having me over, Mrs. Twilliger. You're more than welcome. You're such a good kid. Here, take this with you. Some leftovers from the dinner to eat later. You received leftover stew. Huzzah! A young person like you needs to eat. Well, it won't pay my bills, but it's better than eating junk food. That's for sure. Man, I wish I had some leftover lamb stew. Thank you very much. You take good care of yourself and have a good night. It's getting late, so I'm off to bed. Alright then, good night. Yay! Okay. Yep, and that is, I assume that means it's nighttime? It's getting pretty late and I'm beat. I should count up my pennies and see if I can get my rent paid. Between the $30 I've got in my wallet and the $68 stored in my bank, I've got a grand total of $98 available to pay rent. That's not enough to get me back in my bed. Maybe I can scrounge together a few more bucks, but it looks like I'll be sleeping under the stars tonight. Aww, I better go and find a comfy street mattress. Aww. Aww. Well, guys, that was dinner with Mrs. Twilliger. I'm gonna end this movie. I'm gonna end this video here, and in the next one, we're gonna see about trying to find somewhere to sleep and what our next move's gonna be. See you then.